This is TomoNews for Tuesday, January 3rd. Crikey! Horse watches a python chowing down. Gnarly photos of a 7-meter-long python eating a wallaby in Queensland, Australia have gone viral. Known as scrub python, these guys commonly chow down on smaller creatures. But hey, it was New Year's Day and Mr. Snake wanted to try something with a little extra bounce. And how exactly he got his fangs on this marsupial is anybody's guess, because wallabies bounce around at pretty high speeds. Amusingly, a nearby horse is also pictured watching the snake feast, and this curious equine went in for a really close look at the action. The images were taken by Bernie Worlsford. He told ABC it took the python 3 hours to swallow the wallaby. Wow! Old photos suggest fire brought down the Titanic. An enormous and uncontrollable fire could be the main reason the Titanic sank on its disastrous maiden voyage more than a century ago. According to Irish journalist Sana Maloney, 30-foot-long black marks seen on the hull of the Titanic before it left Belfast shipyard in 1912 are proof that a huge fire sunk the ship. The marks can be seen in old photos discovered by Maloney and point to a blaze in a coal room that would have reached temperatures of 1,000 degrees Celsius and warped the ship's steel bulkhead. Maloney says the marks appear on the exact area where the Titanic hit an iceberg on its way from Britain to New York before sinking to the bottom of the Atlantic Ocean. Some 1,500 people died, making the sinking of the Titanic one of the worst disasters in maritime history. Maloney's theory was presented in a TV documentary shown in the UK earlier this week. He said the ship's owners were aware of the fire and even took the unusual step of reversing into the dock to hide the damage from passengers. Maloney said that even though the fire was known, the significance was downplayed and the Titanic should never have been put to sea. Yes, there's a photo. A Michigan mother may be looking to quit fast food as a New Year's resolution after discovering her fish sandwich came with extra protein. After getting McDonald's takeout on Wednesday night, the woman took a bite out of her filet-o-fish before picking it apart as part of her usual routine. While inspecting the deep-fried patty, she found a worm weaved between the fish and its breading. Ew! The woman went back to the store to complain, but they could only offer her a refund and a corporate number to call. She declined the refund, as well as an attempt to take the tainted sandwich away, supposedly for testing. Instead, the woman stored the wormy patty in her freezer for safekeeping. McDonald's corporate seems to have made contact, though whether or not the issue has been resolved remains unclear. Satellites detect serpentine iron jet stream at Earth's core. Scientists have discovered something big, thick, and as hot as the sun that's quickly coiling around the center of the Earth. European Space Agency satellites have detected a large jet stream of liquid iron flowing beneath Earth's surface at a quickening pace. The stream is moving westward beneath Canada and Russia at a pace of 30 miles per year. Lead researcher Phil Livermore explained the discovery as an accelerating band of molten iron circling the North Pole, like the jet stream in the atmosphere. This molten jet stream might be caused by buoyant forces in the Earth's core, or variations in the magnetic field within the core. And no, before you ask, it's not Marijuana Man's fabled trouser snake. We know, we already checked. Russia plans to build a new nuclear-powered icebreaker. Russia has unveiled designs for a new nuclear-powered icebreaker that would keep the Northern Sea Route open all year round. Russia's proposed nuclear-powered icebreaker, known as Leader, will exceed 200 meters in length and will be approximately 50 meters wide. It would be capable of plowing through 2-meter-thick ice at a speed of 29 kilometers per hour. It would also be capable of cutting through ice up to 4.5 meters thick. The new icebreaker would keep the Northern Sea Route clear year-round. This would allow up to 300,000-ton tankers carrying liquefied natural gas to pass through the area during any season. Russia launched the world's biggest icebreaker, the Arctica, in June. The icebreaker is powered by 2 nuclear reactors and can break through 4-meter-deep ice. Apple has grown so big it needs a new home. Building work on Apple's future headquarters is continuing in Cupertino, California, where it looks like a giant UFO has just landed. Apple's new Campus 2 headquarters is expected to open in early 2017. The main building is a ring-shaped, 4-storied structure that looks like a huge spaceship. The site covers 176 acres. That's about the size of 100 soccer fields. At over 1,500 feet, the main building is greater in diameter than the Empire State Building is tall, and wider than the Pentagon. More than 3,000 sheets of curved glass cover the main building, which is a perfect circle. The site will be completely powered by renewable energy, including solar power and biofuels. Around 80% of the site is green space, complete with jogging and cycling trails. Some 13,000 Apple employees will work at the new headquarters, which has 7 different cafes. 1,000 bicycles will be available for staff to use to get around the campus, which will be planted with 7,000 trees. The campus will also have a 1,000-seat auditorium, a 100,000-square-foot fitness center, and 300,000 square feet of research and development facilities. Parking garages above and below ground can accommodate 14,000 vehicles, while a visitor center offers views over the entire campus. The total cost to build the Apple Campus 2 is estimated to be $5 billion. That figure is equal to around 2% of the company's total cash reserves. The Apple Campus 2 will be the world's 5th most expensive building, and quite possibly the world's coolest office. Obama sees a whole lot of red under Uncle Sam's bed. U.S. President Barack Obama Thursday announced plans to retaliate against Russia for allegedly hacking the Democrats during the 2016 election. Obama must have got a bad case of heebie-jeebies because the plans look like something straight out of the Cold War playbook. Obama purged some 35 suspected Russian moles from under Uncle Sam's bed and sanctioned Moscow spy clubs. Last Thursday, the soon-to-be ex-POTUS ordered the shutdown of not one but 2 Russian luxury compounds in Maryland and New York for being suspected Ruski spy bases.
So sad, but you know we have many party fun time there, yes?
Salty Democratic candidate Hillary Clinton earlier ascribed the hacks to Putin's quote-unquote personal beef with her. Russia denied the accusations and has vowed to strike back against the U.S. And if this lame tweet by the Russian embassy in London is anything to go by, retaliation may involve state-sponsored memes. Meanwhile, POTUS-in-waiting and potential Putin BFF Donald Trump said it was time for Americans to move on to bigger and better things. But what's your take? Fire off below and let us know. Man attacks female Lyft driver and knocks out her tooth. Warning: if you see this guy after you do a sloppy parking job, he might just punch you in the face, as he's alleged to have done last Friday when a female Lyft driver botched her parking attempt at a Santa Ana, California gas station. The driver, identified only as Terry, corrected her substandard parking job, but the guy reversed into the spot beside her. And that's when he got out of his car and started to get all aggressive. Terry's passenger went into the gas station for help, while she began recording the very triggered man. He asked her, "You want to tape me?" And that's when he's seen punching her to the ground. The guy then allegedly laid into her and hit her so hard he knocked out her front tooth. Police are investigating the attack and looking for the man involved. Here's an idea. Maybe cops could just bait him by doing some intentionally crappy parking of their own, yeah? Blind UK patients to receive bionic eyes. England's National Health Service will fund the procedures for 10 blind patients to be fitted with bionic eyes, which should restore partial eyesight. To be fitted with the bionic eyes, patients have to receive implants in their retinas. They also must wear camera-mounted glasses that are equipped with transmitters, along with a small computer attached to their waist. The camera records the scene before them, while a video is sent to the small computer. The image is then transmitted wirelessly to the implant in the eye. Then the image is converted to electrical pulses and sent to the electrodes attached to the retina. The electrodes stimulate the remaining cells in the retina to transmit the image to the brain. The procedures will take place in 2017, and the patients will then be monitored for 1 year in order to assess how the implants have affected their lives. China sets out deep space exploration plans. China on Tuesday published a white paper outlining the country's activities in space for the next half-decade. The Chinese government plans to launch and land probes on Mars and the Moon by 2020. The lunar mission is set for 2018, and if successful, would see the first ever probe being landed on the far side of the Moon. China also plans on robotically exploring the Moon's poles. China's Mars mission is slated for 2020. China plans to send a lander, rover, and orbiter to Mars all in one go. There, China aims to collect samples from the planet and transport them to Earth by 2030. China also aims to explore an asteroid and the Jupiter system, with the latter mission expected to take place in the next 10 to 15 years. If any of these are successful, they have the potential to set the People's Republic of China on the path to becoming a space power that could rival Russia or even the US.